I know that I am late coming into the Paradise fandom, but I'm asking for your forgiveness. I started to see a lot of people talk about this show last year. I started seeing a lot of people on YouTube cover this show. I'm like, what is Paradise? I finally checked it out again. I don't know how this show fell under my radar, but man, what a show. And who could forget episode 7 of season 1? Man, oh my God, one of the best, one of the best episodes in TV history that I've ever seen when it comes to Paradise. So your boy will be officially be covering Paradise. Let's get into it as I talk about my review of Paradise season 2 episodes 1 through 3. Now, Sterling K. Brown, props, brother, props. I'm seeing the vision. I'm seeing the angle y'all trying to go. I'm seeing like in comparison to season 1, I am seeing like a post-apocalyptic type of season that we're going to go into, right? When it comes to you, the bunker, the cast, the whole nine. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button, and please do not forget to comment and like as we talk about Paradise episodes 1 through 3. Now, in the first episode, we're gonna go through some of the highlights. Y'all know how we do. We ain't got time to be here talking for no 49 minutes about a show because I know y'all attention span is short, so we're gonna talk about some highlights. Now, we end up meeting Annie. We know that, she's currently living in Graceland. She's trying to take care of her mother. Her mother's sick, but her mother ends up dying, right? And of course, for Annie, she's on, a tough streak of bad luck, right? She ends up meeting a partner in crime as well who kind of help her navigate the situation, right? Trying to help her navigate life. But as these two, explore what's going on in their city, they also look out that telescope. That telescope tells them that, there's some type of climate situations going on. There's, people fighting in the streets and things of that nature. And now Annie, we know she's going to be hiding out until a group of bandits basically come to her location out there in Graceland. And they kind of want her to join her team, it kind of felt like, but she ends up falling in love with that one guy. And then she ends up getting pregnant, right? Only for her to discover the one and only Xavier Collins. That's when she was on that horse and she ends up discovering Xavier. And now, when it comes to Xavier, now, Xavier, you knew better out there trying to fly a plane in hailstorms or snow, whatever the case may be. But I know you had to go get your wife. We know that we saw it happen from last season. Hype was on that mission to get Terry. I gotta get Terry. Have y'all seen my wife, Terry? Y'all know how he do. You know what I'm saying? And this season right here, they kind of giving us a lot of uh what I like to say past, present, and future, right? They're giving us all of this for the first 3 episodes when it comes to these characters because we end up seeing Xavier, first time meeting his wife Terry. He was out there training, and then he hurt his kneecap, if I'm not mistaken. He ended up meeting Terry in the hospital. He fell for her like hard. He fell for her so hard, like right off the bat. Of course, she was playing hard to get. We get it. That's a part of the game, right? But he fell for her hard. And then that's how we found, this love story between them two and why Terry is so important to him in his life. And I knew we could not trust those little kids. They ended up stealing all of Xavier's stuff, things of nature right there. So now Xavier is stuck, up the creek without a paddle, as the old folks would say it. But they're kind of like little orphan little kids, but I think for Xavier, he's thinking to himself like, "Yo, if these kids can survive this type of stuff, right? I know my wife is out there." So I think he's still, using the kids as, a slice of hope because we saw him even like read to one of the children, right? And of course, we have our old thorn in our side. I'm talking about the one and only Sinatra. Now, Sinatra has been talking to this other scientist. He tells her there's one thing that you think you can just do anything because you're a billionaire, you have all this money, things of that nature. There's one thing you're missing: time. And I'm wondering, are we going to see some type of time travel or something of that nature in this season? Maybe I'm looking at too deep, but when he said time, for some reason my mind went right to some type of time travel. And maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right. We shall see. But we know Sinatra is kind of upset because there is something that is holding her up from the project, from the bunker situation, right? And she is talking to Cal, right? And we end up seeing Cal. This is when he first won the presidency. Of course, he didn't really want to become president back in the day, but his father pushed him towards getting into politics. And the one thing about Jane, another thorn that's going to be in our side, right? Jane and Sinatra are having this conversation. Sinatra's been in that coma, so Sinatra's like, yeah, I don't remember anything. James like, well, I'm just letting you know, whenever I did something, I did it to protect you. Paraphrasing. I really believe that Sinatra remembers the stuff. I think she's trying to play Jane. I kind of think they're playing both cat and mouse, like a mental game with each other, right? We saw Jane end up popping Sinatra last season, but Xavier stepped up and said, listen, they put everything on me, plan it all on me. And of course, Xavier's partner in crime was like, no, 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 don't do that. That's not right. Why would you take the fall for something of this nature right here? And of course, as well, we end up meeting our new president. Now, this president, you know, he's kind of more stern and more hard on, you know what I'm saying? And Jane was there with the president. But let me circle right back to Billy. I forgot about Billy. We end up meeting Billy as well. This when he had long hair, but this time right here, he's kind of like a gun for hire because we've been seeing Sinatra hire him to take care of business when it comes to the man whose wife was sick, things of that nature right there. He ends up popping that dude, taking him out, right? Because he was not doing what Sinatra asked him to do. So now Billy is a gun for hire. This is when Billy had the long hair before he went to the short hair back in season one. And of course, when it comes to Jane, oh my gosh, she's gonna be a problem. Jane's gonna be a problem. The president, you know, he's stressed out. He's like, listen, after meeting all these other top-notch people around the world, listen, I want to go out for, you know, a walk to clear my head. I want to go for a jog, right? He's like, I don't need y'all to clear the neighborhood for me. Like, I got this right here. Big mistake, Mr. President, because we know Jane is going to set everything up in the worst way. Because when the president goes on this jog, after gaining Jane's trust, right? That's when he goes on that jog with Jane. Jane ends up cutting him, slicing him, and then you got Nicole here, right? Nicole discovers a body. Nicole was framed from Jane. Jane's freaking out, and then she sets everything up. She, you know, get the red X and all that, but the knife and all that. I'm like, listen, how they gonna frame old girl just like that? And I'm wondering also what is gonna happen with Cal's son because it seemed like he's about to start his own little rebel without a cause type of group. We saw him get arrested. He's thrown into the underground bunker. Well, he's thrown into like jail, whatever. He's meeting that other scientist. And he says, oh, you're Cal's son. It's like, yeah, I am. It's like, oh, you're gonna help me get out of here, right? I'm like, dang. So not to mention, you know, Cal's Cal's son and Xavier's daughter kind of been working one on one because remember Xavier, not Xavier, but Cal told his son, if you don't like the world the way I built it, change it. So I'm wondering how all of that is going to come into play. Paradise, man, it's different from season one, but it's still good. I just hate how they gave us that major cliffhanger at the end of episode three. Oh my goodness. That's my thoughts, y'all, about Paradise. Be sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Sterling K. Brown, you're bringing it this season. I can't wait to see how things play out with you and the rest of the cast. This is going to be a show. This is going to be a show, y'all, that everybody's going to be talking about. And as always, thank you for tuning in to the Lawrence Report.